Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Sit down, please.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Yashaswi Raj,
Yes, sir.
introduce yourself, please.
Sir, my name is Yashaswi Raj Vardhan. I have done BTech in Computer Science Engineering. I have worked for Barclays for around 3 years. I am a native of Patna, living in Delhi from the last 9 years.
Okay. You should also mention the schools that you went to,
Sir.
your siblings, when you give your introduction.
Sir.
Okay. Now, give us your development model for Bihar.
Sir. Sir, Bihar right now is 70% agrarian. I think first we need some reforms in the agriculture sector. We need to improve the status of cooperatives and encourage collectivization. Second, it is a water intensive state, sir. We need to take this into a comparative advantage. Right now, it is a disaster for us, flooding and drought consequentially. Third, sir, we have a lot of young...
How do we leverage this water thing?
Sir. Firstly, sir, we can have local area watershed management. Right now, it is lacking. Second, sir, we have some river interlinking projects going on. Recently, the Kosi Mechi project was approved. Third, sir,
these are long-term measures.
Long-term measures, sir.
Asking your development model.
Sir.
Something substantive which you can do now.
So we have a huge population and a lot of young population. If skilling is provided in the right way, and second, sir,
in water management, leveraging water.
Water management, sir. So in water management, local area things can be done in a short term, sir, like creating check dams, creating canals, creating supply of agriculture water.
Is this not being done?
So it has not been a priority area, and recently the cabinet approved it in the Sat Nishchay program to do it in a more organized manner for agriculture. So
agriculture, water.
Sir.
Number 3.
Youth. So we have a huge population density. We can provide cheap labor as well as if we do skilling properly.
Cheap labor, what do you mean by cheap labor?
So comparative to the national average, we can provide cheaper labor.
To whom?
So if we do rural industrialization, that is what I was coming to, sir, like introducing food processing industry, etc., we can provide cheaper labor.
First you must set up industries, then the labor will come.
Right, sir.
The cart before the horse. Don't make it like that. Okay, sir. So number 3 point is industrialization.
Rural industrialization.
Rural industrialization. That is very important.
Yes,
which are the specific industries that you have in mind?
So as I mentioned, so food processing industry would be a key driver. Second, sir, we have some agricultural output which can be channeled better. Like we had a history of growing sugarcane and jute that can be channeled into textile markets as well as for ethanol.
What else?
In industry, sir, or other steps?
Development model. This
development
is the
model.
Yes, sir.
Point. Yes, sir. So
Bihar is a big state. It requires a lot of development.
Yes, sir.
In specific areas.
So next would be, if we are going a bit long term, sir, I think we need a lot of investment in social infrastructure, sir. Schools, hospitals, we are creating infrastructure. It is growing by the day, but it needs a lot of improvement.
But all of this is already being done. What you are trying to say is maybe do it in a more intense manner.
Yes, sir, more intense, more organized, yes, sir.
Is there anything out of the box that you have in mind?
So a huge issue in Bihar is the lack of capital. So we have labor, we have land, we are lacking capital. If we can create...
So give up prohibition. You'll get resources. What's the problem there? Bihar and Gujarat are the only 2 states.
Yes, sir.
And whatever rationale you have for prohibition, the same rationale exists in other states throughout the country.
Yes, sir.
They don't have prohibition.
Yes, sir.
So
prohibition has had positive impacts as well in Bihar. And there is social acceptance of prohibition there, which is why we are continuing with it.
But what about the other states? They also have similar problems to Bihar.
They do, sir.
Yeah.
So it is a work in
domestic violence, stuff like that. It's everywhere.
Yes, sir. It's everywhere, sir. But
in fact, in Bhutan, there is a part of Bhutan where the women say, don't introduce prohibition. The men come in the evening, they are They go to bed straight away. There's no domestic violence. Just an example.
Sir, I agree, sir.
So your views on prohibition?
So the current model is not working very well. It could either be implemented through a better model, or we could scrap
What is
it.
a better model?
So better model, first, we could concentrate, instead of going for a total prohibition, we could have selective prohibition. Like we had banned country and spiced liquor, but the decision to ban Indian made foreign liquor and foreign made foreign liquor was a bit haste. Second, our workforce.
Oh, that'll be an even greater disaster if you have pockets of areas where there is no prohibition. Okay.
Sir.
Reflective writing.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
So reflective writing is a cyclical process in which I jot down my experiences, analyze upon it, try to create
What is
learnings.
the last experience that you wrote about?
So for the past week, for example, I have been going through the process of preparing for the personality test
So
itself.
what did you write? Did you write anything yesterday?
Yes, I did.
What did you write?
So one was the virtue of patience.
Are you an impatient person?
No, sir, I'm not.
Okay, then who are you telling to be virtuous, to be patient?
So to myself only, it's not that I'm an impatient person, sir. I think I needed to work more upon it.
Okay.
And second, sir, I felt that at some point throughout the week, I had been more self-critical of myself than it was needed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Yashaswi.
Sir.
Computer engineering.
Yes,
And
sir.
did you say that you worked in Barclays?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me what is LLM and how does it function? Where can we use it?
So LLM is large language model. It is an application of artificial intelligence in which we take a huge amount of data, which is in natural language, and we try to process it to create a system, a model, which can be very interactive with humans on regular language level. Like we don't need a specialized knowledge of computer science to be able to use this model.
So it can only generate some kind of text or give replies like that. Can you give an example where an
Sir.
LLM is being used?
So LLM is being used not just to give replies. There are chatbots which are giving replies. We also have it in, so it is a generative AI, sir. It can create responses. Unlike previous versions which we have had of AI, it is able to create new content as well. It can create pictures, it can create song lyrics, it can create stories. Other than that, it can be used in the education sector. It can predict the curriculum. It can create a schedule for a person. It can be used for.
Okay, so you mentioned about regenerative AI, and what will be the next stage of that? Are you familiar with agentic AI?
Yes, sir.
So can you give example of an agentic AI application also?
Sir. Agentic AI has been used, for example, in the travel sector, travel and tourism. You can create a whole itinerary. You can book your tickets. You can book your stay and everything. You just give a prompt that you want a 7-day stay.
Okay,
for
so
example.
all these applications, they use a huge amount of data.
Yes, sir.
And data centers are being set up all around.
Yes, sir.
But it is being said that these data centers are environmentally very unfriendly. What do you have to say about that?
I agree, sir. It uses a lot of water and a lot of energy, and it is environmentally unsound. The work is going on to make it less computing intensive, and like there was a development in China, deep sea carbon. It was much less computing intensive than what we had with the US models. So with innovation, I think we can do better.
Okay. Are you familiar with India's space mission Chandrayaan 4?
Yes, sir.
What is it about and when is it planned?
So I'm not sure of the exact timeline, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sir, it is a sample return mission in which we collect some sample from the moon and bring it back for testing on Earth.
So do you have any idea about the different modules that will be there in that Chandrayaan mission, 4 mission? How it is different from 3, Chandrayaan 3?
So if I may take a guess, I cannot recall exactly. So Chandrayaan 3, we performed a hopping experiment in which we saw that we could bring back the rover up In Chandrayaan 4, we are going to get a step ahead, collect the sample, and launch that shuttle back to the orbiter and then return to Earth.
Okay, so in Chandrayaan 4, actually, it will be a launch by 2 rockets. One will be propulsion, then will be orbiting, then there will be a descender, then there will be ascender, docking, and then coming back like that. So 5 modules are planned to be there in that. Just
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Yashaswi, you are from Bihar.
Yes, ma'am.
Which are the countries where we have huge Bihari diaspora?
Ma'am, one is Mauritius, then we have Trinidad and Tobago, we have Suriname, a bit in Guyana, and Fiji.
So if you have to choose any one country out of these countries, and you have to go there as an ambassador of India, which country would you choose?
Ma'am, I think I would choose Mauritius.
Why?
One, it has the most significantly, I would say, the diaspora there is more significant politically than in other countries. Second, we have huge investment coming in from Mauritius, so it is very significant for India's FDI. And third, ma'am, it is very important from the Indian Ocean security perspective. So there's a huge role to play.
How will you leverage the Indian Bihari diaspora there for India's growth?
I think being a Bihari, being able to speak in the dialects of the state, I maybe could develop a personal rapport with the political elite there. Recently, our Prime Minister made a visit and he spoke a few lines in Bhojpuri, also mentioned that he's an MP for Purvanchal, and it did make a good impact. Maybe something like that, ma'am.
Prime Minister Modi launched Sagar.
Yes, ma'am.
10 years back from Mauritius.
Yes, ma'am.
And now after 10 years, 2025, Mahasagar.
Yes, ma'am.
So Sagar to Mahasagar, what's the change?
I have read about this, but I'm not able to recall right now.
What is Sagar?
Sagar is security and growth for all in the region.
Yeah, that is the full form, but
yes,
what?
Ma'am, we try to promote rules-based order and freedom of navigation in the Indian Ocean region, and we try to be the net security provider of all the countries, making sure that they all get a fair play in the region.
And how are we ensuring growth, security and growth?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, by ensuring that there is open rules-based trade, people are able to navigate safely, and investing in the region, we are ensuring growth.
Anything else we are doing there? Anything else we are doing there for growth?
I'm not able to recall now. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, Yashaswi, tell us something about the very famous and very important festival in Bihar, that is Sun Festival, Chhat Puja.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times a year it is?
Ma'am, the most famous one takes place once a year, but there's another one that takes place in the Chaitra Mas. That is the second one.
So what is so important about this Chhat Puja?
Ma'am, importance-wise, I would say first is the sentiment that is attached of the people. It is the purest form of worship where there's no priest, there's no ritual. It's just pure worship and pure devotion. So people there are very much emotionally connected to this festival, and the entire Bihari diaspora, wherever they are, if possible, they make an attempt to return to their homeland at this place. So it's a huge gathering. People maintains cleanliness, and ma'am, it is the most joyous time of the year because being a very migrant-rich state, we get to see our relatives and everything, and it is for the benefit of our children that mothers keep this fast usually.
Okay, so
Yashaswi,
yes.
The subject is optional is public administration.
Yes,
what is the difference between the government accounts and the accounts of PSUs?
So I think we are referring to Consolidated Fund of India and the accounts of the PSUs. So the government account, audit-wise, sir, it is audited directly by the CAG, the government accounts. And the action taken report is submitted to Parliament. We have detailed budgeting for that, which is passed by the Parliament. In case of PSUs, they have more managerial autonomy of their expenditure, and oftentimes the auditing can be done by a CAG approved third-party auditor.
Any other difference?
So to make any appropriation or expenditure out of the government accounts, we need sanction of the Parliament. But in case of PSUs, sir, the sanctioned budget which they have autonomy in spending.
Any other difference?
Sorry, sir.
Major. PSU account,
Sir.
it is a company account.
Yes, sir.
I have given you a hint.
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
And government account is a government account.
Right, sir. So I think it would be subject to the regulations of Companies Act.
That is one.
So second, they would have to, if it is a listed PSU, it will have to share its balance sheet and do corporate social responsibility
They
activities.
prepare a balance sheet, they prepare a profit and loss account,
Right,
they
sir.
prepare cash flow.
Yes, sir.
Hmm?
Corporate governance.
Whereas the government accounts do not prepare a profit and loss account.
Yes,
Do
sir.
they prepare?
No, sir. They prepare outcome budgets, not profit and loss.
Okay. So one of the topics in public administration is leadership.
Yes, sir.
So there is a debate
Sir.
going on since very long.
Yes, sir.
Born leaders and leaders can be created. What is your take on that?
Sir, I think both are true. There are some inborn leaders, but if their energy is not harnessed well, they don't do well. There are leaders who do not shine in their early years, but when given the right guidance, the right path, they outshine the ones we consider traditionally leader-like.
What are the different theories of leadership that are taught in the subject?
Sir, one is the traits theory, which says that leaders are always inborn. Second is the situational theory, which says the leader is one which acts according to the situation. There's a relational theory, which talks about how a relation-oriented leader will usually do well. There's charismatic theory and transformational theory, which are the two contemporary theories, which talk about a mix of traits as well as the situational activity, contingent activities of the leader.
In 1949,
Sir.
around 1949, 1950, you can say, we as India and China were economically almost at the same stage.
Sir.
But today, there is a huge difference. Why so?
Sir, few reasons. First, that China opened up their market a bit earlier than we did. They forayed into it in the 1970s, and hence they had 2 decades of advantage. Second, when China was growing, it was a phase of hyper-globalization. So it got the comparative advantage of using the export market. Third, sir, not exactly a good factor, but being a directive style of government, they had a bit more flexibility of navigating through. We had a collision era where our policy is a bit slowed down.
Anything else?
So they were able to capitalize on their huge labor base and create a manufacturing hub, which over the years they expanded and became a near dependence on the...
Anything else? The most important point that you are missing.
Sir, may I think for a moment, sir?
Sure.
I'm sorry, sir.
Doesn't matter. Have you heard the word Shanti?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
So it means peace, and it is also the name of a recent bill we passed for harnessing of nuclear energy in a sustainable manner.
There is an opposition to it.
Yes, sir.
What is the opposition and why it is?
So the Act has amended the Civil Liability of Nuclear Damages Act by first removing the supplier liability and second capping the operator liability, and second, the operator liability has also been made graded. There's an opposition because when they passed the Act in 2010, we made sure that both latent and patent errors by the supplier would also be covered through it. But that has actually deterred private investment, and we have opened up the nuclear sector, yet we don't see much investment in it. It had become necessary to remove that clause. We signed the Convention on Supplementary Compensation for Nuclear Damages, And even according to that convention, we need to cap the liabilities, and the rest would be taken care of by insurance and international fund.
Is there some target also set up in that for nuclear energy generation? From present level to what level in which year?
Sir, we have had the long-standing target of 100 gigawatt by 2047.
19?
Sorry, sir.
What did you say? 100 gigawatt?
100 gigawatt installed energy capacity by 2047.
20?
47, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I may be wrong, sir.
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. ठीक है.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yashaswi,
Yes, sir.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
You're doing very well, okay? Keep it up. Good.
Yes, sir.
Banking reforms
Yes, sir.
over the last decade. List out the top 3 banking reforms.
Sir. So first was working on the NPA. RBI brought in preventive corrective actions and made sure that if a bank is facing
What steps have been taken? Okay, good NPAs. Let's see. Okay.
so second, sir,
No. What are the steps that were taken to reduce the NPAs?
reduce the NPA. Yes,
Yes.
sir. So first was preventive corrective action, in which we
Next.
have created. Next, we did some mergers of smaller banks, PSBs, to make it more
Next.
viable. So next, we brought in IBC to reduce the twin balance sheet deficit.
What about bad bank?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was coming to that. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. What is the status of our bad bank? What is it called?
So we have 2 bad banks. One is the debt. It's IRDCL, which is for debt restructuring, and we have one asset management company also.
Okay. Good. Okay. Reforms now. One is NPAs. Next.
Sir. Sorry, sir, not able to recall.
Okay, no problem. Moving on. Political reforms over the last decade. What kind of political reforms have we seen?
Can you please clarify a bit what sort of reforms?
Political reforms. What kind of political reforms have we seen over the last decade?
Sir. May I just take another moment,
Sure.
sir?
I'll help you. Okay, one could be said, electoral bonds maybe. Now we can debate about whether it has worked or not worked or whatever.
Right, sir.
But I'm just giving you an example.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So very recently, we undertook the exercise of special intensive revision in the electoral rolls.
Acha, again, highly debatable.
Highly debatable, sorry, sir. For the appointment of the election commissioners, we
Okay.
passed a bill.
Again, highly debatable.
So I think it was better than the previous
Better
system,
than
at
the
least.
previous system. Okay, what else?
For the political parties, sir, we brought in FCRA guidelines were
Okay.
revised.
Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, no problem. Don't worry. Okay, Republic Day.
Yes, sir.
Who are the chief guests for Republic Day this time around?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, I'll help you. Okay. What is the status of FTAs with the EU?
Right, sir. The FTA with the EU is under negotiation. We even had a delegation from the European Commission visitors last year.
What are the sticking points?
So I think one of the sticking points is our agriculture market, food market, and we are ready to make some concessions in the automobile sector, but we have drawn a red line in agriculture.
Okay, good. I'll allow a guess. I'm allowing it from my side, okay?
Please.
Chief guest for Republic Day.
So the President of the European Commission.
Both of them.
Both.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Yashaswi, what is the difference between a European Commission and a European Union?
Sir, European Commission, I believe, is the executive body which is made within the European Union to guide its decisions.
Correct. Now, Mr. Yashaswi, your interview with us is over.
Sir.
Kindly wait outside. We'll call you for feedback.